Good morning, ladies. I'm going to take a look at this picture. It was posted in the lounge. It's been there posted for a little bit over a week. So we're going to go ahead and do this tutorial now. If you hear my daughter in the background, she's awake. So she's going to be joining us today. First thing that I want to do with this image is we want the focus to be on the welcome mat. So I'm going to crop it. Let me get my crop tool. Here we go. And I'm a big rule of thirds person. I like the rule of thirds. It's easy for me to do. Yeah. So I'm going to put that welcome right there in the bottom rule of thirds. And that looks good about me. We're going to go ahead and say yes. Okay, that's a perfect crop. We're going to fit it in our image here. Okay, so on here, I cropped it. We put it in the bottom rule of thirds, and it looks much, much better to me. The focus is really on the welcome mat. Something that I want to address with the image, it kind of bothers me, is this white label. What I'm going to do to fix it right now is I'm just going to kind of burn it. I'm going to burn the entire box, and I'm going to burn the rug, too, because I really want that focus to be on the welcome mat. Something that I could have done beforehand was to clone it out with a different region of the box. Sorry, she wants to say hi today, apparently. This is why I do all my work during nap time. But okay, you can see I burned the box. I didn't burn the welcome mat. And we're just going to make sure that everything is covered. And what I didn't do, but I should have done, but I think I'm okay in this situation, I should have created a new layer before I burned it. So I just created a new layer. Control J. Something that I am going to do is I'm going to put a nice little vignette on it. I really want to make sure the focus is on my welcome mat. You can see I'm just kind of burning the corners of the image a little bit. You can do this to taste. Not everyone's going to like it, and that's okay. So we're just going to lower this just a little bit. And you can see, I mean, it doesn't really affect it that much. It affects it a little bit, but not a lot. And we still want it to look natural. Also, something on here that needs to be corrected is the white balance. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to get my color sampler tool. I'm going to drop 3 points. I'm going to try to pick 3 neutral points on here. And we're going to change them to CMKY. There's a tutorial on Clickin' Moms. It's a Skinny Wednesday post by Sarah that explains your skin tones doing this method. I highly suggest you look it up if you haven't done it already. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over here to our curves adjustment. And you can see that my yellow values are way higher than any other value. I don't want it like that. My yellow value needs to be 3 to 5 points above my magenta value. So I'm going to come over here to my curves. I'm going to go to my blue channel. And we're going to add in some blue. And yes. Yes. And you can see the difference already. But I think this is just a little too much magenta. So I'm going to go to my green channel and I'm going to add back just a hair of green. And I took the green channel from 255 to 253. So like you said, it's not a big difference. It's just a little bit to try to help with that. Also, something I'm going to do is I'm going to change my blending mode from normal to color. And all that's going to do is it's just going to make sure that the channels that I messed with in the curves, that it's not changing the highlight of them. It's only changing the color. Okay, and we're back. I have no idea what I was talking about. Oh, the blending mode. We changed it from normal to color. And like I said, it's just going to help that it doesn't highlight the curves channels that we changed. So also something that I'm seeing that I do want to address is you can see in this channel, it's still not looking that great. My yellow is still way up, and it's this part right here. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to create a second curves adjustment. And the only thing that I'm really going to pay attention to is this number 1 number. And if these get thrown off, I'm not going to worry too much about it right now. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to go to my curves channel. I'm going to go to the blue channel. And I'm going to drag that down. And like I said, I really want to get that number down. And it's going to be a drastic change. And on this one, you really are just going to have to watch the numbers. It's not something that you're going to be able to look at the image and be like, oh, yeah, that looks fine, because the rest of the image is not. And that's okay. Let's see if we can get it there. Big difference. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to go click on our second curves adjustments. We're going to click Control I, and we're just going to invert the layer. And then I'm going to come back here with my brush, and I'm going to paint this back on. Whoops, I need to put my opacity up. Okay, so there's my opacity at full strength. And this is not exact. Please excuse me. I'm down in my living room, not in my office, where my lighting condition is much, much better. But you'll get the general idea of it. You can see the difference in the leg. To me, it matches the rest of the image a little bit. This still has kind of a yellow tone to it, so I might drop the opacity or the flow of my brush down to 35%, and just kind of go over this once. I don't want to do it a lot because otherwise it's going to look too pink. But right now that doesn't look too bad. You can see it really took the yellow out. It matches the rest of the image now. And just to kind of check our numbers, they all look pretty good. So, okay, we're going to flatten both of these curves adjustments layers. I'm going to get rid of my color points. There we go. And the only other real thing that I'm going to do is to this image is I want to pop this welcome mat just a little bit. So I'm going to go back to my curves. Once you're in your curves, there's the little tool that has a hand with a up arrow and a down arrow. I'm going to click right here and I'm going to drag down. And same thing that I just did with the other curves adjustment, I'm going to hit Control I, and then I'm going to brush it back. And we're going to brush back here. And it's just going to add just a little bit of contrast to this welcome mat. And that's all it's going to do. Now, like I said, I like to edit at full strength 100% and then reduce the opacity of the layer. And that's just the way that works for me. So if you want to do it the other way, you can just reduce the flow on your brush. You can put it at like 30, 40%, and then just paint over it a couple of times to taste. But, okay, see the difference? That's a huge difference, and I don't like it that dark, so we're going to back it off. 55% looks pretty good. I like that much better. It just makes it easier to see what's actually written on there. I don't think the focus of the image actually fell directly on the welcome mat, and that's okay. So we just did that to kind of put the focus more on that. Last thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to hit Control J to get myself a duplicate layer. I'm going to go to my blending modes. I'm going to take it from normal, and I'm going to put it on soft light. And this is just to kind of give it just a little bit of a pop. And I'm going to put it on about 20%. Let's put it on 20, well, 19, that's close enough. And you can see the before and after. It just gives it just a little bit of a pop. I like to do that just to kind of finish off all of my images. The only other thing that you can really address with the image, and I know that you had talked about it, was part of your concern, is the different colors of the rug. Doesn't really bother me that much because the focus is on the welcome mat. That's where we want it. If you want to, though, you can take your burn tool again and come back in here and do it again and just burn this. Or if you want to, you can kind of desaturate the red just a little bit in the hue and saturation adjustment. But I don't really mind it. You can't really tell it. So overall, this image is great to me. I'm done with it, and I think it's good to go. The focus is where we want it. We fixed the issue with the rug being two different colors because of the lighting situations. And I'm going to post this video and the image in the lounge, and if you guys have any questions, just let me know.